What's good? Last week, the guys at 2K brought me over to Springfield, Massachusetts in order to test a work-in-progress build of NBA 2K25. And as a result, I'm now able to share my gameplay impressions, which will cover play now modes for now. I mostly played on All-Star and Superstar difficulty, but in this video, we're going to go through general impressions, covering anything from new gameplay mechanics, the new dribble engine, defense, the AI, and so much more. And my first observation is that this is clearly not NBA 2K24 all over again. This is a different game, and when you get the controller on your hands, you will feel it immediately. And where you'll feel it the most is in the offensive side of the floor, specifically in dribbling and in shot creation. So is it a different game? Hell yeah, it is. Is it better? Only time will tell. Did I have fun in my limited time with the game? Absolutely. So number one, yes, the new dribble engine, it's as good as they say it is. As far as the dribble engine goes, it's the most fluid, smooth, and responsive feeling dribbling system that I've experienced in any recent 2K. There's a level of fluidity that's not just from a visual perspective looking at the animations. You feel like you're in control, you feel like there's more freedom of movement, that even though 2K expanded on ProPLAY in a big way in NBA 2K25, you don't lose that responsiveness that you need to be that much better as a shot creator in the game. And with the new dribble engine comes new changes to the mechanics of dribbling in NBA 2K. So this year, the left stick just might be as important as the right stick as a dribbling mechanic. They've expanded left stick dribbling in a major way for NBA 2K25. It controls a lot of stops, starts, and fast explosions that weren't really present in NBA 2K24. So one of the weaknesses of NBA 2K24 in my opinion was that dribble styles were super limiting, and left stick dribbles were actually part of your dribble styles. In this year, the expansion of left stick dribbling as an important core piece of your shot creation is going to change the way how you play the game. Left stick dribbling, trust me, invest in it at the start of the year, it will pay off in a major way. Now with the introduction of new mechanics and new animations to the left stick, that means a lot of inputs have changed. So your traditional left stick inputs, for example, your right stick and left stick combos that give you sham gods, for example, or misdirection dribbles, those are now completely mapped to the right stick. But I think one thing that people will realize is that some core moves that were part of previous 2Ks that a lot of people have as a fundamental part of their bag are now removed. Or maybe I haven't figured it out yet, but one big example is that momentum crossovers and momentum behind the backs, as we know it from previous games, is now out of the game. But it's replaced with a more robust left stick dribbling system that I think a lot of people will appreciate. And with the increased importance of the left stick, I think two of my main observations for the new dribbling system is that slowing down is as important as speeding up. Lulling your defender to sleep with different change of pace techniques with the improved responsiveness of your different explosive launches will make your job as a dribbler and a shot creator that much easier. Learn to play with multiple paces in the game. Slow down and speed up, and combine that with your different right stick and left stick moves. These combination of techniques and mechanics will make you that much more dynamic as an offensive player. Alright, my next observation is that as a shot creator, first and foremost, this game is a shot creator's dream. I've already talked about the new dribble system, the new dribble engine, the left stick system for dribbling, but now the introduction of new shot creation techniques like the go-to shot and shot cancelling in combination with the expansion of ProPLAY and that new dribble engine. You guys just have to feel it for yourself. Again, there's a level of fluidity that's there. There's a level of realism that the expanded ProPLAY animation gives. But it does not sacrifice responsiveness, and in some cases, the freedom of movement and responsiveness is favored over visual consistency and realism. Only in some cases, I think realism is still at the core of this game. But in some cases, 2K favored responsiveness and fluidity of movement over realism And this is apparent in shot canceling in particular. So by now, I'll have a separate video on go-to shots talking about the new system and a deep dive into the options that it gives you. But one thing that people were really skeptical about was shot canceling because it was already present in previous 2Ks. However, they were extremely limiting, especially in 2K24. After canceling out at the step back, you were stuck in a in and out animation that you could cancel out of if you were fast enough with your right stick movements. Now, it's way easier. It's way more responsive, and there's an effort made by 2K to give you different animations out of shot cancels if you combine it with the left stick. Shot canceling makes your shot creation way more dynamic, and in combination with your new ProPLAY animations and your go-to shot mechanic, for example, it's gonna allow you to be more dynamic on offense, give you an ability to counter really quickly, and give you an advantage over the defender. And oh, you thought ProPLAY was really extensive in NBA 2K24? NBA 2K25 is just a different beast. It's more apparent that ProPLAY is expanded in a bigger way in NBA 2K25. It also makes instances where generic animations are used. You know, these stand out even way more. So I hope they continue to expand ProPLAY as they did in NBA 2K25, and it definitely benefited the variety in gameplay and your ability to create shots. Next, you wanted physicals to matter more? Well, in Play Now at least, they absolutely do matter. So against the AI on All-Star and Superstar, they were very aware of the physical advantages they had over me when I was caught in a mismatch. For example, a small guard against Luka Doncic or SGA, forget about it. Strength matters as much as it did in 24, or maybe even a little bit more, even though they removed badges like physical handles and bully. Man, let me tell you, the computer was not afraid to put me in the post or basically run me through different types of physical and contact animations. As a small guard, and this is going to be a big talking point, small guards and their shiftiness, their quickness, and their ability to change directions is really apparent on the offensive end of the floor. There have been multiple instances where I just simply blow by my defenders if they do not have the perimeter defense, the strength, or the badges that are necessary to combat the quickness of small guards. Agility, in my opinion, is also going to matter a lot. So I've been put on an island as a big with low agility against someone like James Harden, and it didn't take much effort for them to just change pace, blow past me, and get to the basket. So in my opinion, physicals matter a lot more in NBA 2K25, at least in Play Now. So another big talking point in the courtside report was the new defensive tools that NBA 2K25 gives you, and these are your cutoff mechanics. So basically you hold L2 and R2, or L2 or L2 and R2, and then tap the right stick in different directions. You as a defender will then go to that direction in a sliding or a cutoff motion. Now, this is a powerful mechanic if you time it correctly. It will lead to bumps, ball pickups, or even steals if you time it correctly. However, there's a huge risk versus reward mechanic that is underneath this entirely new mechanic. So basically, once you enter into that cutoff animation, there's no canceling out of it. There's no quick recovery. I'm going to guess that at some point, ratings and attributes and physicals will matter for this. But there are situations where I was just playing around with the cutoff mechanic. And let me tell you, once you change direction in that cutoff, it's gonna be hard to recover. So there's a risk versus reward mechanic to it that I think you're gonna want to invest into learning how to use this correctly. Because if you do, it creates a lot of advantages for you on defense. But miss that opportunity completely, and it's already a guaranteed bucket for your opponent. So my next observation is that shooting feels familiar, but there were definitely tweaks to shooting that may improve shooting overall compared to NBA 2K24. Now I will say that I didn't play on Hall of Fame difficulty, and I'm not sure if it was a bug or an intentional decision by 2K, but I couldn't find my shot contest rating. So what were my settings for this game? So I played on push release setting, same as I do in NBA 2K24. I played in the high risk, high reward shot profile setting. And then I had rhythm shooting on, but I didn't use it for the entire game. I tried it maybe a few instances in game, but rhythm shooting, in my opinion, is a mechanic that lowers your floor but raises your skill ceiling. So how does it lower your floor? You can have great timing, basically a green release, but if your rhythm shooting is off, even by just a little bit, you can still miss that shot. I labbed it a little bit in freestyle, but it will take a lot of getting used to, and I think it's gonna need a significant investment on your part if you want to commit to this shot mechanic. So since we had limited time with the game, I didn't want to mess around with it too much. But I will say that the high risk, high reward setting, I was able to hit a lot of contested shots. Now, in terms of the shot contest system, again, I can't say for sure because for whatever reason, I couldn't find the setting for shot feedback. Maybe I was just too tired or whatever, but I do know that I was able to hit a lot of contested shots, even on Hall of Fame difficulty. Also, I think, as Mike Wang explained it, the gap between you and your defender as you initially release your shot is gonna be way more important, leading to less ghost contests. And I tried this out one way. I did the hand down, man down thing where I did a few triple threat jab steps and launched for a jump shot, and I got greens. So overall, shooting feels familiar, a little bit better in my opinion, but then again, this needs more testing. I played on All-Star and Superstar difficulty, and this is one thing I'll keep an eye out when the full game releases. So next, on-court spacing and its benefits. So the move towards a smaller ratio between the player and the court definitely can be felt. The changes to the spacing engine actually benefit on-court gameplay by a lot. So if you're a slasher, this is very apparent. Now, there are still some oddities in terms of teammates getting jammed up. I even found one rare instance, so one instance out of my 8 to 9 hour playthrough of the AI entire team being on one side of the court. So those oddities might still happen, but once again, this is a work in progress build. This is something also that I'll have to observe once the full game releases. So next, basically the post game and the triple threat game remain largely intact compared to what they were in NBA 2K24. And for the triple threat system, I can understand. It received a massive overhaul in NBA 2K23, which was improved significantly in NBA 2K24. For the post game, it remains largely untouched. I've seen a few entry animations, a few new animations here and there, which is always great. But as I mentioned earlier, the addition of ProPLAY makes old outdated animation stand out a lot more, and for the post game there is a lot of that. Your post shimmies, for example, look very outdated, and a lot of those post hop jumpers don't look as smooth and as realistic as a lot of the other offensive aspects of the game. I will say, however, that the changes to the contest system and the way contests work in the post look to be like they're gonna contribute to way more engaging and rewarding post game. So I've seen post fades, for example, benefit a lot from this, which were already a great way to score in NBA 2K24. But now I'm seeing a lot more physical and up close post actions get rewarded compared to what they were in NBA 2K24. Again, I didn't necessarily get a lot of time to put into the post game. One thing that, 2K continues to do from a defensive standpoint in terms of the AI is that they will aggressively double mismatches in the paint if you're posting someone up. This allows me to, one, not engage in the post game as much because it will force the ball to be rotated, but also from a help defense perspective, the CPU basically abandoning any help defense in that situation, it's also carried over from previous 2Ks. That gives me the natural segue to how the AI operates in NBA 2K25. And on the offensive side of the floor, to begin with, I'm not gonna lie, the AI cooked me a lot. And I'm gonna show you this one clip of De'Aaron Fox basically just leaving me stunned out there. In terms of on-ball offense and off-ball offense and running plays, the AI is smarter in 25 than they were in 24. There's still some instances where I feel like the AI is cheating. Like I'm able to contest those hook shots and those floaters that they like to do in the paint. They still go in way more frequently than I think they should. But again, I prefer this over previous 2Ks where I could just stick near the AI and they couldn't score on me whatever difficulty it was and whatever they tried. So the AI way more dynamic in terms of the offensive end of the floor. They're also able to handle physicality and tight defense a lot better. There are still some areas for improvement. For example, when done right, Steph Curry in transition going for a pull-up looks excellent and gives you that extra layer of fear that you have to fear the AI that he's going to take that shot. There are some instances, however, where guys like Luka will take out of character long pull-up threes in transition. I see where they're going. Luka's a threat at all times and is capable of pulling up, but they don't do it in a way where they set things up and plant their feet. So these things still happen, but overall, the offensive AI in NBA 2K25 way improved compared to what it was in 24. Prepare to get cooked. And on the defensive end of the floor, rotations are sharper in NBA 2K25. It's not perfect. So NBA 2K25, the help defense AI still makes a mistake. One weakness is that the AI still has a tendency to die on screen. So you're still going to have to babysit a lot of these off-ball actions. So be prepared to run with your defensive settings, especially against the AI that likes to call plays or against human users that like to call plays. You're still going to have to get into those defensive settings and you're still going to have to do a lot of switching, either off-ball or on-ball, to make sure that you're in position to contest a lot of these off-ball actions. But overall, I was impressed with the snappiness of the rotations. They were able to play 1 versus 2 in terms of like weak side rotations a lot better than they were in 24. I still see some instances where they completely abandon the weak side, leaving one of the weak side help defenses on an island, basically trying to cover too much ground with the improved spacing. It gets a little bit difficult, but overall, way improved. Still a lot of room for improvement, but much bigger improvement compared to where it was in NBA 2K24. So there you have it. Those are my 10 or so impressions of gameplay for NBA 2K25. Once again, a big shout out to NBA 2K for flying me out to Community Day, but more importantly, a big shout out to each and every one of you who supported me over the past few years to even allow me to get to that point. Overall, NBA 2K25 for me is a fun game, way more fun game than NBA 2K24, and that's coming from someone who really enjoyed 24 and recognized some of its weaknesses, but overall thought it was a way better game than NBA 2K23. I think, speaking as a simulation gamer, a lot of you will enjoy this game. Now, for those non-simulation gamers, this has a level of responsiveness and fluidity and fun factor that you may have not experienced in NBA 2K24. It's way more responsive, way more dynamic, and gives players a lot more freedom on the offensive end of the floor. Whether it's a better game overall, we still need more time. Like, I'm still figuring out systems, I'm still figuring out the AI, I'm still figuring out defense and shooting. So this is not me saying that, 2K25 already the best 2K ever. No. This needs time, but as a base and as the core pillars of what NBA 2K did for NBA 2K25, it's already a great start. Now the community needs to get their hands on the game, and this is where the true test begins. The community is good at exposing the vulnerabilities of the game, and with year 1 system for dribbling, when people figure things out, I think that will be the true test of whether this is a better game overall. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll be answering a lot of your questions, so comment them in the comment section below. I'll have a separate live stream to answer these questions. I'll post that in my community posts and in my Twitter soon. So hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you out. Once again, thanks to 2K, and thank you everyone for supporting me through these past years. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.